In the world of animated television, no other show remains more iconic than the 33-season-long adult cartoon The Simpsons. With the family of Homer, Marge, Bart, and Lisa Simpson, we're shown countless stories and comedic adventures between the interactions of these characters in their town of Springfield. However, what if I told you that someone was missing from that family? A Simpson so controversial that the networks have done everything in their power to make you forget about their existence. Well, get ready, because I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to Graggle Simpson, and how this character became synonymous with one of the show's darkest predictions. And if you wait till the end, I'll even get to show you one of the original Graggle VHS tapes. The Simpsons has been a popular show for years now. While it's always been an adult cartoon, its use of family themes and moral values have turned the show into a household name. However, one part of The Simpsons became especially popular on the internet, and that would be their uncanny ability to predict real-world events. For example, there was an interaction between Homer and Lenny being a reoccurring friend of Homer's, where Lenny says, "Hey Homer, did you know cryptocurrency is going to crash in 2022? The concerning part is that this line of dialogue occurred in 1982, way before crypto even existed. The Simpsons had many episodes where they predicted future events, but the one that was the most shocking happened to involve a character that many of you aren't familiar with, and for good reason. This is Graggle Simpson. You may have seen Graggle on the internet recently and wondered who he was. Well, Graggle Simpson was like the Brian Epstein of the family, the honorary fifth Simpson. His character would go on adventures with Homer and the others, appearing periodically in the background to add a few witty one-liners or give the family advice. However, many people don't remember Graggle because something happened in the United States that caused the networks to pull the plug on his character. In his final episode, there would be a conversation between Homer and Graggle that would go as the following. "What are you going to do today, Graggle?" "I'm going to kill the president." Following this episode's premiere would be the death of John F. Kennedy. This episode of The Simpsons came out November 21st, 1963, and because tension was so high in the country, the joke was immediately pulled off the air a week later. Media outlets everywhere began printing "Simpsons Does It Again," with Graggle being on the front page. So following this, the networks did everything they could to force America to forget about Graggle. Merchandise pulled his images, episodes of him were banned from TV. The show had made another correct prediction, but at what cost? The funny and charming Graggle Simpson was now erased from history. After doing some digging, I actually stumbled onto one of the original VHS tapes with Graggle still on it. When I play it though, you may notice something interesting. Do you see how Graggle looks brighter and different than the scene around him? That's because to remove Graggle, it would have been too expensive for the studios to tape a new VHS and destroy the original copies. So instead, they would take the master copy, the VHS to be duplicated for a release, and burn out Graggle from the magnetic tape, almost like bleaching him from the footage. The tape I found off of eBay happened to be one of the only master copies left over, which the process of removing Graggle had started on, but not finished. However, even if this tape and others had survived unharmed, the damage was already done. After the events of the 1963 episode, the now popular Grandpa Simpson was created by replacing the end of Graggle's name. The networks appreciated the replacement, and so The Simpsons began to continue trying to hide Graggle from the audience. That wasn't until early 2022, when images of Graggle began to resurface again. This story also explains why it's impossible to find Graggle in any modern format. Because the show was still in its infancy, the characters hadn't quite reached the more popular modern style we'd recognize today. However, after these events, the show still continued their trend of Simpson predictions, which remain popular on the internet today. In fact, if you look hard enough, you can probably find any real-world event that could be traced back to The Simpsons. That's how crazy the show is at predictions. Graggle Simpson, like us, shouldn't be characterized based on a single mistake. People change, and I wish we had given Graggle a chance to. But now you know the story of Graggle Simpson. So with that, thank you for watching.